Okay. Kelly Shoemaker's right there. No, in the next one. Yep. Mr. Metzger. Mr. Negrini. Mrs. Reed. Here. Mr. Wolf.
Here.
6 present, 3 excused.
Wilson, good news. Don't have anything for today other than, oops, sorry, my thing's going crazy here.
All rise for the
See it, pledge the flag, sorry.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God.
Mr. Maravich?
Two opportunities for the public to address the board. One is on agenda items for the agenda. Second is on non-agenda items at the end of the meeting. It is a 3-minute opportunity pursuant to board policy and the Sunshine Law. It is not question and answer, but instead is an opportunity to provide your comments on matters that are before the board or may come before the board.
Are there any items for public participation?
There are none.
Communications, I know we have one item.
Yes, there's one item. Thank you all for your attention and patience. You have my apologies for not being present at the meeting tonight, and I am grateful for the opportunity to be heard and extension. On Saturday, September 6th, a horrible tragedy struck our community. We have all had the opportunity since then to process grief and mourning in our own way, but I would like to briefly share some thoughts on the matter that specifically relate to our district's response. As many of you know, I am heavily involved in Signal Spring Borough's activities as an appointed member of the Parks and Recreation Board, as well as a member of the VOS 2020 Committee. Some folks may simply know me as the guy who runs movie nights in the park in the summer, or that man with the bullhorn that calls out the Easter egg hunt every spring. Others yet know that our biggest job is running our summer playground program. This program has grown over the last 5 years to span 9 weeks and includes almost 200 young children. I am very proud of the success of our summer playground program. The largest of our 2 playground sites is in the Brookfield Manor and is baseball throwing distance from the Shorts' home at 51 Winding Brook Road. The oldest 2 Short children had been members of our playground program for several years. They have been my neighbors since we moved to the development in 2007. It was only within about a half hour of hearing the tragic news that I received a call from our Pupil Services Director, Dr. Kate Long. Kate was already working on the district's response to the tragedy, and she thought it would be important to include our playground leaders and our rec board. Later that day, we had a plan, and the following day, we held a meeting. Our playground leaders received direct, first-hand guidance on how to help children, leaders, and families deal with the tough questions and situations that arise from such traumatic events. We had an entire district guidance support system made available to us to assist with anything that may arise. Our district's response was swift, effective, and focused on our children. We opened the playground that next Monday morning on time, and it was honestly the most surreal day I think we've ever had. But our leaders were ready, and since then they've leaned on the support provided by the district to help children through this most unexpectedly tough time. I'd like to extend my personal thanks to Dr. Kate Long for her exemplary leadership in this matter, and also to Stacy Stout and Michelle Sawella for their outstanding support and guidance. This is yet another great example of what helps differentiate Wilson from other communities. In the wake of such tragedy, our district works seamlessly and effectively with our community to produce positive outcomes for our children. In addition, I would also like to thank the local churches for their United We Pray messages. Sincerely, Robert Metzger.
Thank you, Cheryl. And now we have the August graduation for the class of 2016. Chris?
Thank you, President Ehrlich. The students behind me, as well as 3 others, successfully completed the graduation requirements set forth by the Board of Education as well as the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And I'm proud to be here tonight to recommend them for graduation to Mr. Baker.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Pennsylvania Department of Education, on behalf of the Wilson School District, I hereby confer upon these students, members of the Wilson class of 2016, in witness whereof we now award the diploma.
Brandon?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Great work. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from August 1st, 2016. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Chmielewski, second. Mr. Hop, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Treasurer's report and the investment report.
Mr. President, I submit the following for last month: the Treasurer's Report, Investment Report, and General Fund Financial Reports, which were attached with the enclosure.
Do I have a second? Mr. Wolf, roll call, please.
Dr. Chmielewski?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mr. Hop?
Yes.
Mrs. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
6 for, none against.
Payment of bills.
Mr. President, I submit we pay bills in the amount of $300,747.38 from the General Fund 2015-16 and $2,278,333.31 from the 16-17 General Fund, $9,070 from the 15-16 Capital Reserve Fund, and $366,707.36 from the 16-17 Capital Reserve Fund.
Do I have a second? Mr. Wolf, roll call, please.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mr. Hop?
Yes.
Mrs. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
6 for, none against.
And financial reports.
Finally, I submit the financial reports all from July 2016 for the Wilson Cafeteria account, child care, and the activity accounts from Wilson West, Southern Middle School, and the Senior High School for board approval.
Do I have a second? Mr. Wolf, roll call, please.
Mr. Hop?
Yes.
Mrs. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
6 for, none against.
Item number 5.0, Superintendent's report.
It's suggested that the following items be bundled together to a single motion. 5.1, resignations. 5.2, change in status. 5.3, support staff. 5.4, professional hire. 5.5, extracurricular. 5.6, substitute teachers is attached. 5.7, food service substitutes is attached. 5.8, substitute instructional assistants is attached. 5.9, substitute secretaries is attached. And 5.10, substitute nurses is attached.
Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Dr. Chmielewski, second. Mr. Hart, are there any comments?
Just with one in particular, all of our employees are extremely valued, but Diane Richards is listed on here, and I just want to personally thank Diane for all the time. I remember hiring you. You've made Wilson a better place, so thank you. Thank you.
I want to thank you for accepting my tardiness and handing in the audit slips, but I do get them done every 3 months or so.
I too, obviously, as chair of the Finance Committee, I work very closely with Diane. Diane's been a pleasure to work with, and I hate to see her go, but on behalf of the board, we wish you the best of luck, and don't be a stranger. Roll call.
Mrs. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski?
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mr. Hop.
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich.
Yes.
6-4, none against.
Under consent items, 6.1, accept with gratitude $100 from the statewide tax recovery to the high school scholarship account for a scholarship to a worthy student graduating in 2017. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Chmielewski, second. Mr. Wolf, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Under Human Resources, we have 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, 7.4, and 7.5 as attached. 7.5, I just would like to point out particularly, we are voting to approve the appointment of Laura Morgan as the principal of the Green Valley Elementary School, and she'll be replacing Stacy Stout, who is staying with the district in a different position. And Laura's with us here tonight. So unless there's any questions, a motion for approval. Mr. Wolf, second. Dr. Chmielewski, any comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mr. Hop.
Yes.
Mrs. Reed.
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich.
Yes.
6-4, none against.
Congratulations, Laura. You can take the rest of the night off, but we expect you to start first thing tomorrow morning.
7:30.
Under pupil services, 8.1 through 8.6 as attached. Motion for approval. Mrs. Reed, second. Dr. Chmielewski, roll call, please.
Dr. Chmielewski.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mr. Hop.
Yes.
Mrs. Reed.
Yes.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich.
Yes.
6-4, none against.
Under technology and media, request permission to sell wireless access points to the Luzerne Intermediate Unit. Motion for approval.
So moved.
Dr. Chmielewski, second. Mrs. Reed, roll call, please.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mr. Hop.
Yes.
Mrs. Reed.
Yes.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski.
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich.
Yes.
6-4, none against.
Under finance, 11.1 and 11.2 as attached. Motion for approval.
So moved.
Dr. Chmielewski, second. Mr. Wolf, roll call, please.
Mr. Hop.
Yes.
Mrs. Reed.
Yes.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich.
Yes.
6-4, none against.
Under curriculum and staff development, 12.1, and this is something that Mr. Baker and his team have worked very hard on. It's request permission to enter into an agreement with Alvernia University and Berks County Intermediate Unit for the purpose of delivering a one-year pilot program in Mandarin Chinese to students at Southern Middle School, West Middle School, and the high school. Cost to Wilson is not to exceed $15,000 in direct fees to the BCIU and Alvernia, and the pilot program will be evaluated for continuation as part of the 2017-2018 budget process. The instruction will occur on site here at Wilson. Do I have a motion for approval? Dr. Chmielewski, second. Mrs. Reed.
Just a comment.
Any comments?
I'd really like to thank Mr. Baker and his entire administrative team, because Mr. Baker just walked into his job and really took the initiative from the get-go, along with his team, to save this program. And if I can tell you that I don't think that would have happened if Kurt didn't take that initiative. So I want to thank you, Mr. Baker.
I can agree it wouldn't have. And that was an outstanding demonstration of leadership outside the box.
And I don't want to speak for Kurt here, but I will a little bit. I know Kurt and I had a lot of discussion on this, and one of the things Kurt really is looking at is not just a pilot program for Mandarin Chinese, but is this a way we can offer other educational opportunities within the Wilson School District where it maybe doesn't make sense or we don't have enough participation to offer it ourselves? So this, I would stress to everybody, this is not just a pilot program for Mandarin Chinese. It really is a pilot program to see can we do it with other topics. Is that accurate?
Absolutely.
And that may allow us to bring other people back into the district.
Yeah.
And so the audience is clear, when we say pilot program, it's partnering with higher education, whether it's Alvernia or potentially Penn State or Albright or local higher education that institutions that have potentially classes that we don't have here, but have a student or multiple students that can take those classes.
The other thing I would also caution the board on is the cost to exceed the $15,000 may not be a cost. The other piece of this is by doing what we've done, we're actually saving money by doing it the way that we were previously doing, which was cut from the budget. So it reads as a cost to the district, which it is, but it's actually a savings over how we were offering Mandarin Chinese in the past, actually a substantial savings. So thank you, Mr. Baker. You did, as Mr. Hop said, put a lot of time and effort into this. I appreciate it.
Let me just say that Amy and Cindy and the principals of the two middle schools and the high school, the folks at BCIU, at Alvernia, I'm missing folks here. There are a lot of people who put a lot of time into making this happen, and so it really was a nice job pulling it all together.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Now I think we have a motion and a second. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
first and a second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Dr. Shimeleski.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mr. Hop,
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich,
Yes.
6-4, none against.
Under transportation, 13.1, 13.2, and 13.3 as attached. Do I have a motion for approval? Dr. Chmielewski, second. Mr. Hott, roll call, please.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Dr. Shimeleski.
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mr. Hop,
Yes.
Mrs. Reed,
Yes.
6-4, none against.
Child care, 15.1 and 15.2 as attached in the latest edition of the agenda. Do I have a motion for approval? Dr. Chmielewski, second. Mr. Wolf, roll call, please.
Dr. Shimeleski.
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mr. Hop,
Yes.
Mrs. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
6-4, none against.
Under extracurricular, 16.1 and 16.2 as attached. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Dr. Chmielewski, second. Mr. Wolf, roll call, please.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mr. Hop,
Yes.
Mrs. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Dr. Shimeleski.
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich,
Yes.
6-4, none against.
Under committee reports, Berks Career and Technology, Mr. Metzger is not here. Berks County IU, Mrs. Reed.
Next meeting is Thursday at the BCIU at 7 o'clock.
Berks EIT,
Very
Curriculum Committee, Mrs.
Next
Reed.
meeting is 4 o'clock tomorrow in Dr. Flannery's office.
I won't be late. I'm on call.
Okay.
Extracurricular.
Today is always traditionally a very exciting day for the extracurricular committee because we customarily, we being myself, Mr. Hart, Mr. Baker, Mr. Kaufman, and Mr. Trickett, get to walk around in the morning and welcome our coaches and our fall teams to campus for the first official day of our fall athletics. So we witnessed the girls soccer team, the boys football team, girls field hockey, water polo, girls water polo, tennis, and boys soccer. So it was nice. We missed a couple sports that just weren't on campus at the time, but it was very exciting walking through the pool. The girls water polo team was doing their warm-up laps and some conditioning, and I felt a little inspired after watching Michael Phelps the other night. But knowing that I wouldn't have made it even one time across the pool, I didn't jump in. But really exciting to see the numbers. All the coaches kind of commented that they had good numbers out. It's always a blessing when you might have to end up, cutting a couple kids because it means there's that many kids interested in our program. So hate to see that happen, but it's exciting that we have a robust program at this point. And they had a great day, great morning to start anyway. It got a little bit warm as the day went on, but it was an exciting day for the extracurricular committee. And that concludes my report.
Facilities, Mr. Negrini and Mr. Martin are not here. I don't believe there's anything to report there. Finance Committee, nothing to report. Human Resources, Mr. Hop?
No report.
Legislatives, Mr. Martin, as Mr. Martin would say, is probably on vacation. So, Public Relations,
No report.
Education Foundation? Technology?
No report.
Student Outreach, nothing. Solicitor, Mr. Maravich? Any other business? Any public participation on non-agenda items?
There's not.
No. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Dr. Chmielewski, second. Mr. Hop, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We're adjourned. So I got the
Put
top
that in
two,
the record
Jason.
book.
You're like